Picture this: you're 6 months pregnant, and it's the day of your baby shower. Instead of celebrating, you're doubled over in pain, feverish, vomiting. 2 weeks then. You go to the emergency room twice within 12 hours. The first hospital sends you home with a strep throat diagnosis, never checking the source of your abdominal pain. At the second, you test positive for sepsis, a life threatening infection. But doctors say your baby still has a heartbeat, so they send you home again. By the third visit, your body is shutting down. Doctors insist on 2 ultrasounds to officially confirm what's already happening, the loss of your baby, before they'll act. By the time they do, it is too late. This is not a hypothetical. This is a true story of 18-year-old Navia Crane, who died in a Texas hospital on October 29, 2023. A story published by ProPublica, a nonprofit newsroom, on November 2024. I am here today because the overturning of Roe v. Wade isn't just a legal setback. It is a matter of life and death for women across this country. Navia's story is heartbreaking, but it is not an isolated tragedy. This issue is not abstract. It is happening right now in the states across our country. According to a 2024 investigative article by ProPublica, at least 2 women in Georgia died after being unable to get either legal abortion or timely medical care. And state review committees concluded that both their deaths were preventable. Today, I will examine the harm this ban has caused, uncover its roots causes, and offer solutions we can act on together. So let's start by examining what this ban has brought to this country. According to a ProPublica article posted on February 20, 2025, pregnancy became far more dangerous in Texas after the state banned abortion in 2021. Their analysis of 7 years of hospital data found the sepsis rate for women hospitalized while losing a pregnancy in their second trimester shot up more than 50%. And the surge was even sharper for patients whose fetus still had a heartbeat when they arrived at the hospital. Navias wasn't the only one who paid the price for this delay. In an article posted on October 2024, ProPublica reported that Gisele Barnica died of an infection after doctors refused to help her complete a miscarriage. Because her fetus still had a heartbeat, Barnica wanted her pregnancy. Her death makes one thing painfully clear. This ban doesn't only endanger women seeking abortion, it endangers every pregnant woman in Texas. The harm isn't only physical, it is psychological too. According to a Turnaway study, a 5-year study by researchers at the University of California, San Francisco, women who were denied a wanted abortion experienced immediate spikes in anxiety, stress, and lower self-esteem compared to those who received one. And the consequences don't stop at their mental health. These women were also more likely to fall into poverty, more likely to remain trapped with a violent partner, and more likely to raise their children entirely alone. Being denied control over your own body doesn't just affect a single moment. It can reshape the entire trajectory of a woman's life. Now, let's go over what's causing these tragedies. Many states have passed abortion bans, and in doing so, they've instilled deep fear in doctors, fear of prison sentences, and fear of losing the license they spent years earning. According to AAMC, several nationally publicized cases involved women with pregnancy complications being turned away at hospitals, simply because staff feared that performing an abortion would be ruled illegal. These doctors weren't confused about medicine, they were confused about the law, unsure under what circumstances they were legally allowed to act. This isn't just a hypothetical theory. It is an changing actively changing how doctors practice medicine. In a 2025 study published in The Conversation, they interviewed 22 medical providers across Tennessee in the months following the state's total abortion ban. Researchers found that doctors were becoming increasingly hesitant to give patients care they knew they needed because criminal prosecution, unlike malpractice, isn't something their insurance protects them from. The researchers even coined a term for this pattern: hesitant medicine. In other words, doctors are being forced to protect themselves first and their patients second. Lastly, I want to leave you with something we could actually do. Voting is one of the most powerful things we have as Americans. According to the Guttmacher Institute, in the November 2024 election, 10 states put abortion rights directly on the ballot, and 7 of them passed measures protecting the right, or that right. This proves citizen-led ballot initiatives work. We have the power to use this same process to protect the rights that were stripped away. But voting isn't the only path forward. Courts are also being asked to step in. According to a 2025 state court report analysis, doctors have delayed life-saving care simply because they were confused about when the exceptions to abortion bans applied. And state courts are now being petitioned to clarify exactly when those emergency exceptions kick in. This means that we can also push our elected officials and legal advocates to demand clear laws. Once doctors can actually act without fear of prosecution. Today, I have spoken to you about the harm this ban has caused, what is driving it, and what we could do to change it. We have seen how much these laws affect those who don't want children and those who do, those who conceive unwillingly, and those who experience miscarriages. Livia Crane went to the hospital 3 times pleading for help. She wasn't asking for anything radical. She was asking to live. And she should still be here today. This isn't a story about politics. It is a story about a mother who never got to meet their daughter's 20th birthday. About a husband who begged doctors to help his wife. About a country that decided a heartbeat mattered more than the person carrying it. We have the power to change that. At the ballot box, in our courtrooms, and in the conversations we have with people around us. Roe v. Wade wasn't just a legal decision. It was a promise that women would never again have to choose between their lives and their loss. That promise was broken. It is up to us to make sure that these laws kept and protected.